For as long as I can remember, I've always had an electrocapacitive keyboard as my daily driver. First, it was an APCO keyboard with Niz switches, then a Realforce R2 with silenced Topre switches, and more recently, the classic professional HHKB. While there's no shortage of great options in the MX world, nothing quite matches the pillowy tactility of an electrocapacitive switch. So when Niz reached out about their new L84, a low-profile electrocapacitive keyboard that just launched on Kickstarter, I was immediately intrigued. This is my first time trying a low-profile EC keyboard, and from what I can tell, it may actually be the first of its kind. The packaging is quite straightforward. Inside the box, you get the board wrap and bubble wrap, along with a braided USB cable, extra plungers and housings, 10-gram springs for added weight, a keycap puller, and even a display model of the switch. They also include a silicone cover that's cut to exactly match the keyboard's contour. It doubles as a dust cover and sound dampener, which is a thoughtful touch for a board that's already impressively quiet. Besides the silicone cover, most of the accessories that come with the L84 are fairly standard, but what really sets this keyboard apart is the entirely new low-profile electrocapacitive switch design, which is completely different from the standard Niz EC switches. Actuation force has been reduced from 40 grams to 30 grams, and every part of the switch, including spring, dome, and washer, has been miniaturized to fit a much slimmer profile. As a result, the total travel of the switch is now just 2.8 millimeters, compared to the 4 millimeter total travel of the original Niz boards like the Atom, Micro, and X series. This has allowed the board's total height to be reduced to just 19 millimeters, which is about 10 millimeters lower than previous Niz boards available on the market. To my knowledge, this is the first ever low-profile electrocapacitive board to be released, so it marks a pretty significant milestone for Niz. Opening up the board, we can see that the switches are mounted to what appears to be an aluminum plate, with plate-mounted stabilizers used throughout. The board features tri-mode connectivity, and it ships with these high-quality double-shot PBT keycaps. I was pleasantly surprised to see a split spacebar in this layout, which isn't something you see every day on an off-the-shelf board like this. Visually, the L84 has a soft, rounded profile, with both the case and the keycaps following the same gentle contouring. To add a bit of visual interest to the design, there's also a small LED display at the top of the board that gives you quick indicators for battery life, connection mode, and more. Out of the box, there are a few clever key bindings pre-programmed to the board, including mouse cursor movement shortcuts when holding down a function with WASD. It's actually a pretty convenient feature if you ever find yourself using the board in front of a laptop without a mouse nearby. And if you want to take the customization further, Niz also offers its own software for the L84, so you can remap keys, change actuation points, and tune the board to suit your own preferences. Moving on to my personal opinion of the board, I must say that at first, I wasn't sure what to make of it. I've spent years typing on heavier electrocapacitive boards, and the switch to a 30-gram low-profile initially felt quite jarring. The reduced key travel of the low-profile configuration also threw me off. It just didn't feel like there was enough travel to fully appreciate the unique tactility of electrocapacitive switches that I had come to love and expect. At times, it felt like the reduced travel made the switch feel even lighter than what I would expect a 30-gram standard profile Niz switch to feel like. But after a few days of use, the board started to grow on me. My fingers began adjusting to the lighter key press, and I started noticing how much more relaxed my hands felt, even after long typing sessions. The low profile of the board also helped greatly in ensuring a proper wrist angle while typing, which further improved typing comfort when using the L84. What really stood out was how quiet the board was, especially with the included silent silicone cover. If you're someone who types a lot in shared spaces or late at night, this keyboard is whisper quiet, one of the quietest boards I've ever used. It's really not a board that's going to impress you with its sound. In fact, it barely makes any. But that is the entire point of this board. In a strange way, what initially threw me off about the board ended up being the strongest selling points for it as well. The Niz L84 is meant to disappear. Unlike other boards which constantly demand your attention, this one quietly fades into the background, letting you focus on the task at hand. So in the end, who is this keyboard for? If you're already a fan of Niz or Topre and love the deep cushion press of a traditional electrocapacitive board, the L84 may not tickle that itch. But if you're looking for a portable, low-profile keyboard that delivers on comfort and quiet performance, with a unique switch option that is completely novel to other low-profile keyboards so far, this one might be a great option for you. Personally, I ended up swapping in the included 10-gram springs, which gave the board a bit more resistance and helped strike a better balance between comfort and keystroke feedback for me. It won't be for everyone, but the Niz L84 is a great example of how electrocapacitive keyboards can evolve beyond their classic forms while still retaining some of the core typing feel that makes them so special. So that's it for this review. Let me know what you think about the Niz L84. Are you curious to try it, or will you be sticking with your current board? And if you're already deep into electrocapacitive switches like I am, I'd love to hear what your experience has been so far. I've included a few sound tests at the end of this video, so let me know what you think about those as well. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.